Welp, no Stoop this week for Stoop Kid. Oh wait, here we go. Hey, Stoop Kid never leaves us Stoop. Let's go. I found one. All right, here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys for Cassie, Mendoza, and Danny Weaver for June the 11th. So I hope you enjoy. Now, this week for the snitch, because remember, you cannot find Danny Weaver or Cassie Mendoza on your map until you find the snitch. These are considered secret wandering vendors. And that's why every other day their vendor open and closes, and you have to find the snitch all over again to find these vendors. But for today, where I found the snitch, I fast traveled to the Space Admin HQ, and I found the snitch over here in the elevator. So I am not finding the snitch in my normal locations like I have been for months and months and months. So remember that this, NPC spawns in over a dozen different locations throughout the open world. So it's always random. So if you log out and log back in, he might be in a different location. But for me today, here are my coordinates. I am at coordinates 561 by 4430, and this is where you can find the snitch, or at least where I found the snitch. Now, accept the bounty, and that will give you the gun runner location, which is Cassie Mendoza. You can pick up the bounty, and what I do is I go to the bounty details, and then I just click abort. That way I can keep them for later, and as long as your open world difficulty setting is set to heroic, you'll be able to get all of these bounties as heroic, and then later on you can come back and redo them. But because we found the snitch and talked to him, we should have the white shopping cart icons. Here we go. Here's one right here. So Cassie Mendoza this week is in Judiciary Square. And here it is, Danny Weaver is in Foggy Bottom. But you can see in the top left of your screen that the vendors will close in 16.5 hours. So remember that these do open and close every other day. So make sure you find the snitch and go to these vendors today. Okay. Now for Cassie Mendoza, what I do is I fast travel to the Dark Zone Charlie checkpoint for DZ East, and then I just exit. Now, yes, it will give you this double loading screen, but all that's doing is putting you in an active Dark Zone lobby.
Access granted.
And then once you exit out of the Dark Zone, it's only a few blocks up north to go to Cassie, so let's run over there. And what you're going to look for is the American Food Store. So we'll run over there, and I will show you what's up. Now, for Cassie Mendoza, she's the vendor that takes normal credits, so you don't have to do anything special for her vendor and her items. There are a few hunter items that Cassie Mendoza sells, but she will only sell them after you unlock those items, and I'll show you here in a second. And then also for Danny Weaver. So Cassie Mendoza, she sells all of those items just for normal credits, where Danny Weaver is a textiles vendor. And the thing with Danny Weaver is he doesn't sell items, he only sells caches. So you can trade in your textiles for caches every week. Now, I wish it was the same amount of caches and whatnot every week, but it is random. So sometimes we'll get 1 exotic, sometimes we'll get 3, sometimes we'll get 12 caches, other times we'll get like 4. But anyways, so for Cassie Mendoza, right, we'll talk about Danny Weaver here in a second. But for Cassie Mendoza, what you're doing is you're looking for the American Food Store right here. You run into the food store, and instead of going to the back alley, you're going to look for this rope on the right-hand side, and then take the ladder that is also on the right-hand side. And this will put you into an apartment building. Now, if you have never been to this area of the map before, there is a collectible on top of the wooden crates right here. And once you jump through the window, there will be a side mission over here. But we have already completed that, so if you're just looking for Cassie, go into the bathroom. And here's Cassie Mendoza. So timestamp it, do whatever you need to, but here is Cassie Mendoza's weekly vendor reset and must buys.
Agent, good to
Now,
see
starting
you.
off at the top, we do have the named items, and this is where I have my disclaimer that I do every week for this vendor reset. So, these bottom three named items you have to unlock. So, I did mention that earlier. These are hunter items. So, the first one is the shield splinterer. To unlock this one, you have to hunt down and eliminate all of the year one hunters and open up the ivory chest that is in the base of ops. Once you do that, you will receive this weapon, and Cassie will then sell it immediately. Now, the next thing, Hunter Killer, this is the Warlords of New York Hunter item. So you have to have Woni to get this one. Now, once you have Woni, you have to hunt down and eliminate all of the year 2 hunters, and then open up the off white chest that is in the Haven settlement in Warlords of New York. Once you do that, you will receive this chess piece, and then Cassie will sell it immediately. And finally, we have the hunter, or the huntsman, my bad. So the huntsman is the year 7 hunters item, and this one is locked behind the Battle for Brooklyn DLC. So not only do you have to unlock the DLC, but then you have to hunt down and eliminate all of the year 7 hunters, and then open up the Ash chest that is in the Bridge settlement in Brooklyn. Once you do that, you will receive this weapon, and then Cassie will sell it every week thereafter. So these bottom three are forever unlocked if you do the hunters. Now, the top 2 named items for this week, we have the Lefty. This is the named ACS 12 with Perfect Sledgehammer. And this week it comes with magazine size. Now, you could easily change that to damage to targets at a cover and be good to go. I use this shotgun for my healer builds, for my support builds, things like that, because all I do is if I'm healing my teammates, I'll throw grenades at the enemy, proc the perfect sledgehammer, and then continue healing my teammates. I mean, it's pretty cool. Not bad. Now, the next one is the closer. So the closer is the named using a Getica chest with perfect spotter, but this one with health and explosive resistance, I'm not really feeling it. Those aren't the attributes you want for this chest piece, so I would definitely pass. But the lefty, that's a good one. Going down to the shield splinterer, this one with headshot damage and perfect optimist. The other attributes are high enough to where you could just change the headshot off for damage to targets at a cover and be good to go. Following that, we have the Hunter Killer. This is the named Golden Gear chest with Perfect Intimidate. And this one with weapon handling and armor regeneration. This is a must-buy, in my opinion. All you need to do is change the weapon handling off for whatever it is you want, and you're good to go. Or, if you want to use this with the Pestilence, this is perfect. Just max out the armor or change the armor to weapon damage, whatever you want to do. But weapon handling and armor regeneration on like a pestilence, like regen build, hell yeah, all day. You could use that with perfect adrenaline rush, normal adrenaline rush. You could use it with bloodsucker, perfect bloodsucker, or even the memento. But this is a really good chess piece, and that armor regeneration is perfect. Remember, you can use the 2-piece Golden Gear and get 1.5% armor regeneration per second, and then this just stacks up on top of that. I mean, it's a very good chess piece. Check it out. And finally, for the named items, we have the Huntsman. So this is the named FAMAS, brand new, just came out a few weeks ago. And this brand new FAMAS has Perfect Frenzy. Now, this week it comes with accuracy, but you could easily change that to damage to targets at a cover and be good to go. Not bad. Going down to the gear set items, we have a hardwired backpack with skill haste, measured assembly chest piece with headshot, striker gloves with explosive resistance, Eclipse protocol knee pads with repair skills, Aegis holster with repair skills, and finally a breaking point mask with crit chance. Not bad. Just looking over the gear set items really quick. The hardwired, I mean, you could just change that to skill damage. You don't need the skill haste on there. The measured assembly, you would not, I mean, I wouldn't recommend any of these. I mean, even the breaking point, I would change that to headshot, right? You don't want crit chance. You'd probably want headshot there. Yeah, but that's just me. Okay. Moving on to the high-end items, we have a Black Market RPK, Max Crit Chance and Stabilize. Following that, we have an ACS 12 with Pummel and Crit Chance. Providence Gloves with Crit Chance and Status. I mean, you could switch this one around. You could go Crit Chance Headshot, or you could go Double Crit. But either way, these are pretty good gloves. And finally, we have... Oh, uh-oh. Let's see here. Oh,
a good deal
no!
for both of us.
It took too long. My controller, like, went out. That's funny. Badger Tough, Holster, Skill Haste, and Status. Going to the mods, we have Crit Hit Damage, 10.7, and Drone Armor Repair of 6.5. Very nice. All right, so must-buys, things to look for from Cassie. The Lefty. The Shield Splinter is not bad. The Hunter Killer is a must-buy. The Huntsman's all right. All right, so going to the gear set items, I mean, the breaking point's not bad. Just add headshot. And then for the high-end items, the Providence, just make it double crit or crit headshot. I mean, so there's 6 items to look at, but most of them are just named items. All right, so let's jump over to Danny Huiva and see what we can pick up with our textiles. Now, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. What are you waiting on? Support the channel by subscribing. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we are fast traveling to Foggy Bottom, the Truman Safe House. And just to show you really quick how to get textiles for Danny Weaver, go to your apparel menu, okay? Bottom left, you see caches. Click on that. And at the bottom, you will see apparel cache keys. So this is what gives you textiles. You have to get duplicates. So if I open up this chest, I already have all of the items, so I know it will be a guaranteed duplicate. And right there you can see it says duplicate item, 100 textiles was rewarded. And then you can see at the bottom of the screen, I'm at 269,000 textiles. So that's the currency that Danny Weaver takes for these caches. Now, the thing about Danny Weaver, though, is sometimes he's bugged. So if you see no items in there, it's okay. Don't freak out. You know, log out, change your instance, whatever. Treat it just like the stash bug. I know a lot of people are seeing 0 on the stash. Same type of issue, but this is for the vendor. I mean, this game does have quite a number of bugs, but it is what it is. We know little workarounds, so if you're having issues, just let someone know, and we'll tell you the workaround. Now, the thing about Cassie Mendoza or Danny Weaver's location here, you can see on my mini-map, the GPS is wanting me to, like, run down the street. But what you need to do is just find the big green doorway and go down the sewer entrance. Now, once you're down here, look for the hole in the wall over here on the right, and here is Danny Weaver. So timestamp it, do whatever you need to. Here is Danny Weaver's vendor reset.
You need something?
Oh, and it's very short. Okay. We have 3 exotics, which is cool. I mean, 3 exotics is always a good one, so pick up your exotics right now. That's more important than anything Cassie's doing. Let's be real. We want the exotics. Everyone wants the exotics. So, Danny Weaver has 3 of those and 1 named item. And remember that the named item cache can also contain a PvP exclusive item. So, fingers crossed. Let's see what we get. Now, when you pick these up, just monitor your textiles and make sure it is actually taking away from your textiles. And you can see it is taking it away from my textiles. Now, once you have purchased all of these caches, wait for it to pop up on the left side of your screen. It might be a little delayed. There we go. And then it should be in your inventory. Keyword should. So let me look. Yeah, okay. There we go. So let me know what you get in the comment section below, but here's what I get. First exotic, Dread Edict, the exotic SVD. Number 2 is the Vile Mask. Okay. Number 3 is the Nemesis. And finally, for the named item, we got the Everlasting Gaze. but we did get the Nemesis. Remember, you do not have to do all of the invaded missions or anything to unlock it. It is added to the general loot, and it has been for years. So, not a bad pickup. It's already at 1.4 million, and that's not even near max or expertise upgraded. That's a beast. Let me know if you use the Nemesis and what your base damage is. I mean, I bet you could probably get that up to like maybe 3 million. That'd be ridiculous. All right. Anyways, that is it for me. That is your weekly vendor reset and must buys for Cassie Mendoza and Danny Weaver. I am Kamikazevondoom. Hit the like, subscribe. You know a little YouTube spiel, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day, and peace out.